Good morning again. It's story time. If you haven't yet read any of my books, I've got a bunch of them available on Amazon in both paperback and hard copy. This is my novel that was released this year. I wrote that. Historical fiction based in Florida just after the Civil War, and it takes you up to just after the World War II. And it's written in a very different format, not new, but different format, where the story is told through a host of characters. So that's Beneath the Palms. It's gotten really good editorial reviews so far. And this Tale of Half-Truths is a collection of 15 short stories, all very different. So go ahead and get your copy today. Today, we're going to read from the Brazen Biddy Club again. About 8 years ago, I came to Florida to visit my mom. I was in San Diego at the time, and found out that my stepdad was in the late stages of Alzheimer's. She hadn't told anybody. She was a former nurse. Figured, well, they're like Marines. You're never a former nurse, right? And she figured that, she should know how to handle it, but she was fit to be tied. And I was unemployed and didn't have a spouse, so kind of said, couldn't not say no, but I'm glad I did. So I went to California and came back, and I've been here ever since helping her. Anyway, so this is a semi-autobiographical collection of very short chapters that is super witty. It's very funny. Anyway, I'm going to read to you that. It's about me living with my mother after 4 years, if you can imagine. Turned out to be an interesting ride. Okay, here we go. Sorry, I'm an old lady now. Where's that? My mother asks me a few months back. She had been looking at the scrolling photos uploaded onto a digital picture frame that I had given her as a gift. It's Catalina Island, I told her, from my 49th birthday, cross-island trek. Before coming to live with her, I'd been taking long, isolated treks on my birthday, choosing to spend the time alone. I was trying to shake the love I had for someone who had proven himself unworthy of it. It had taken quite a few island trips and many, many treks. The Trans-Island Trail across Santa Catalina was one of first of a dozen. I always wanted to go there, she said softly, but your father would never take me. I'm thinking, I'm not my father. I'm thinking, to hell with that. Let's go. So I saved my pennies, sold my car, and we went. Perusing the harborfront shops in Avalon, a small coastal town facing San Pedro's Channel, looking over towards Long Beach, we come across a psychic who gives readings. Oh, Ma, you should totally do this. We both promptly spit out a "pah" in amusement. We are celebrating her 77th birthday after all. What more could there possibly be to predict? Being me, I fall into character, changing my voice and mannerisms to become Madame Serenity. I grab my mother's palm and scowl over it, pointing to the lines. Ooh, look, see here? Yes, yes, a long lifeline. And see here, a great love. And here, oh wait, he dies. Ah, but you find another. See here, another love. Oh, how fortunate you are, born under a lucky star you are. So, you two will have a long and happy life together. Oh wait, my mother is laughing hysterically, but she hasn't grabbed back her hand, so I continue my skit. I was a gypsy on more than one Halloween. I got this down. He dies too, but you find another. You travel to a faraway lands. This lover is very doting, he is. Oh, look here. He cooks for you too, he does. Oh, such a love. But what's this? I pause for effect. A dark mishap of some kind. An illness? I look up at her squinting and push imaginary glasses up my nose. Kidney transplant? Double bypass? No, it's a knee replacement. Ah, well, that's not too bad. I pat her hand sympathetically to finish with with big repetition for good measure. But you will have a long and happy life with many, many loves. Yes, yes. I cock my head and smile primly at her, holding out my other hand as if waiting for payment. We laugh, and all she can muster is a weak silly at my efforts. But she is still holding my hand, and I feel the gentlest of squeezes. We both do a double take at the sign as we pass by, despite our shared mockery. She lives in a senior community, and every decade or so there's a reaping, a cluster of random deaths, leaving those previously coupled behind to recouple. Some do, those who don't want to live alone, and others don't, those who prefer their own company. It's part of aging that is seldom discussed, but that is nonetheless very real. Her husband's health and mental condition have been declining, and it's not been easy for her to witness the demise of her lifelong companion and her heart's love. She says goodbye to him every time she visits. Never again, she says to the sign as I stroll her away. She doesn't think I heard her, but I did, because I know. I know that she's a don't, whereas Miss Mary down the street is a do. We proceed away from the docks, down Front Street, to collect all her birthday freebies from the shops and cafes. She's so happy with all her prizes by the end of the day that she doesn't even pocket the miniature shampoo and bath salts left in the neat row on the shelf above the sink at the inn. She's so happy that she offers to return the pencil she borrowed from the front desk clerk. No, it's yours, the young woman smiles. I wheel my pleased mother back to our room on the corner, the pilfered pencil clutched tightly in her hand. So, there's a previous chapter that describes me driving her and a 90-something-year-old friend of hers up north. I used to drive her to my sister's every summer in the RV, and then I would continue on to their house up in Warren, Vermont, as I was going through and liquidating their assets and, fixing up the house, getting ready for when we did sell it. Anyway, she and this old gal would, we'd go out to dinner or to lunch, and they'd come back, with every mayonnaise and jam packet, that one. And in the evenings, I would go to grab something, fix some dinner or something in the refrigerator in the RV, and all these little packets would fall out of the door because they had just, secretly shoved them in there. So it's been like the bane of my existence, this like generational tendency to have to collect all the stupid little packets of everything, all the little freebies, the cracker packs. Well, they're not going to use them. Like, it's some plastic now. Yeah, they're going to reuse them. Come on. Anyway, long story short, that was that reference. But yeah, so part of what this is kind of the companion book for A Daughter's Diary, a family's path through Alzheimer's. And it's like the comic relief side of it. Because what I found is that while I was taking care of my mom, I was always trying to keep her from depression. Once we placed him particularly. She and he had done things for a decade in retirement already as couples with other couples. And once we placed him, she's like, I don't think I really want to do that anymore. But she couldn't express that. So me coming in, a child of the 60s and 70s, to tell this child who grew up in the 40s and 50s that she could practice her own prerogative and she could make her own choices and, get her to talk about her feelings when she had been of the silent generation where you just didn't discuss your feelings. So it's even hard for her to identify that she's got them, So it's been, and I'm all about express, don't repress. So it was an interesting ride. So this is kind of the comic relief to that whole process. And me trying to help my mom become the woman, not just the mother, not just the nurse, not just the wife, the woman she was born to be. And not just that, but the elder woman, the crone, and to do what she wants to do. And so I'm always trying to give her her dreams and quality of life. She and I were both single parents. She had the support of her family, whereas I didn't. But that beside the point. She struggled as I did. And so, in fact, that was like the first turning point in our relationship, our contentious relationship, was when I could acknowledge, once I became a single parent, called her up and said, I got to thank you. Girlfriend, you did a great job, and I can feel you more now than ever before. So anyway, but it took living with her 40 years later for us to find a whole other dimension of our friendship, if you will. So go ahead and read it if you haven't. Brazen Biddy Club. It's very funny. Leave reviews. Always. I'm an indie author. Reviews are the thing that will eventually get me to the point where I'm making money. It only takes 50 reviews before Amazon starts promoting my work. Okay, guys, so help me get there. Once they promote my work, then I will make more than $20 a year off of my 14 books. Yeah? Thanks, help me. And just because I'm an indie author does not mean I don't write well. Check it out.